Good evening everyone and welcome to Live Bird TV. So there'll be a couple of videos tonight. This one's going to be about a lad that I've severely rated from the minute I clapped eyes on him bursting on the scene last season. I couldn't stop watching videos of him because, to me, in my opinion, I've seen a lot of talented youngsters coming through Liverpool in my 39 years of being alive, but I have never ever seen one like this boy. The best description I can give you is he has the dribbling skills of Steve McManaman and the pace of Michael Owen. So to me, I think we're going to be talking about this kid in a couple of years' time as being one of the best strikers in the world, attackers in the world, sorry. So what I'm going to do is going to read a couple of pieces out of Ben Doak and what's going around at the moment about this kid. The fact that Liverpool haven't even tried to sign a right-sided attacker is because they know they already have one. The fact that they've already loaned out Calvin Ramsey, already loaned out Fabio Carvalho, and this boy is not even available for loan, that shows you that the season 2023-24 will be the season that Ben Doak breaks through and becomes an absolute superstar at Liverpool. I genuinely believe that, and I just seem to, how can I describe it? It's like, even in Jerry Oatley, honestly, I watched Scotland under-21s play, I think it was a few weeks back, and every single time he got the ball, the first thing he thought about was getting on his bike, literally just heading for the jugular. I have never in my life of watching football seen a player. We've all seen players that get the ball and run at people. It goes back to David Ginola, Jordy Kincladze, Steve McManaman, Andrew Kanchelskis, Ryan Giggs. It goes back to the famous wingers, right? You know, even Maxi Rodriguez was great in his day at getting at people down the wings. But I have never seen one that has the pace. In fact, I have, and this is going to be the biggest compliment I'll ever give a young Liverpool player. He reminds me of Lionel Messi at the age of 16, 17, because the first thing he thinks about when he receives the ball is, I'm gone. And he dribbles, and he manages to do a little bit like Suarez does, which is he manages to keep the ball even though it's sort of bouncing off his lower leg and knee and thigh. So I am so excited for two reasons about this kid. One, in fact, there's three reasons. Number one, because he's only just turned 17 and come from Celtic, so there's two reasons. My first one. Two, because he's Scottish, because my uncles, I love them to bits, and I've been watching the last few Scotland games with them, and they have got some bloody good youngsters coming through now, and this one, my own family are excited about him. He could be the best youngster since Kenny Dalglish, the best Scotland player since Dalglish. That's how highly thought of he is. And, well, I've already lost my train of thought there, but what I'm saying to you is we've got a track record, Liverpool, for the Scottish link, you know, Dalglish, Hansen, you know, obviously Gary McAllister, Andrew Robertson. We've got a great sort of relationship with the Scottish players, and if you actually look at Liverpool's first ever team put out in 1892, it's frightening. The first 11, I think 10 or 9 are Scottish. It's unbelievable, the link. And here's a stat for you. Liverpool have never won a league title without a Scotsman in it. So out of the 19 league titles we have won, they've featured a Scotsman in every one of those league title teams, which is an incredible stat. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read out some bits and bobs that I've picked out over the last couple of weeks, which is coming out, which is basically what's happening with Ben Doak at the moment in terms of getting notice. And the first one I'm going to read out here is Scotland manager Steve Clarke. Right, he has been very quiet about Ben Doak up until 2 weeks ago, and this is what he said. And this is on the page Anfield subscription. Right, here we go. So Scotland manager Steve Clarke provides praise for Liverpool youngster Ben Doak. The Scottish national team boss hinted that the attacking style is in line for a call-up if he can earn some playing time with the Reds next season. Every year there are one or two academy players that break through and make a name for themselves with Liverpool. They don't always make the cut in the long run, but having an academy stocked with talent certainly helps the chances of bringing through the next Trent Alexander-Arnold. This season, the player who became known as the next player to watch was Scottish youngster Ben Doak. The 17-year-old winger made himself known by showing no fear, making aggressive runs down the right wing in a couple of senior team appearances in the winter. Besides making it to the bright lights of the senior team, Doak also tore up the youth competition he faced at both the under 18-19 level and under 21/23 levels. His electric play across all levels this past season has put Doak on the radar of Steve Clarke, the manager of the Scottish national team. As Scotland prepare for a series of Euro qualifying matches, he talked about some of the young guns on the cusp of earning a call up to the senior squad. Doak was one of the names brought up, along with Aston Villa's Rory Wilson. He's an attacker and probably a really difficult player to play against, Clarke said of Doak, because he just runs. He's so quick and he can go either way. You could probably play him as a striker, just ask him to run in behind teams and stretch them. While Doak has impressed, the Scotland manager wants to see more of him playing senior team minutes. Of course, that is easier said than done, especially when trying to break through in a team like Liverpool that is loaded with attacking talent. Again, at 17 he is just a youngster, but he has been in and around the Liverpool first team without making the breakthrough. That's not a criticism, because it's difficult to do that at a club like that. Hopefully going forward those two boys can be a big part of our future. Let's not put too much pressure on them, but if someone is playing regular somewhere and scoring goals, they can be in Scotland's first team squad. I don't think Ben is quite at that level yet, but he's working towards it. If he shows he's good enough to be involved, he can be for sure. While Liverpool are loaded up with left wing options, they are light on the right side of Mohamed Salah's side. If Doak manages to continue his progression, he could be in line for some minutes in the cup competitions and the UEFA Europa League next season, and potentially the odd senior team match if all goes well. Now, I'm going to follow this piece up now with what Jurgen Klopp has had to say on Ben Doak, and this was only a month ago. So this video I'm doing is to just let you know that this kid, I'm going to put it on record right now, is the kid coming through. And in fact, if those that play Football Manager, just check his potential rating on that. And then Football Manager rarely get it wrong when it comes to, you know, getting youngsters right. This kid has everything. So this is Jurgen Klopp. Ben Doak, branded special boy by Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp as Wonder Kid, makes a list of slim Anfield positive. It's a big summer at Liverpool, but youngsters could play a part in improving for next season. Jurgen Klopp has left excited by what Ben Doak can bring to his Liverpool side going forward. The German is readying his team for the Europa League next season after failing to reach the top four in England's Premier League. But there is an optimism for the future amid a big summer transfer window. But boss Klopp could look towards youngsters already at the club for a boost, and key stars like Firmino leaving. Doak has shone in the youth ranks and made his competitive debut in red this season after joining from Celtic in January 2022. With his manager naming as one player with big potential for Liverpool's future, when questioned on the positive, he takes from the emergence of more young players this season. Klopp responded, from very young ones like Stefan Bajcetic is a standout player that was exceptional, played like a man, unfortunately in a kid's body. And then the intensity caught him if you want. But anyway, the signs he gave us are super promising. Ben Doak, obviously nice signs. He's with us in training again. So, wow, special boy, really confident. He's something nobody else delivers really. This kind of dribbling, this kind of straightforward bravery, all of these kind of things. Technically really good, high speed, super promising, but very young. I don't want to miss anybody out. Then of course Harvey Elliott always played a lot of games for us, played for us a lot of games, not so good period, still very young, so couldn't keep up on the highest level, but he showed again super signs. So that's Steve Clarke and Jurgen Klopp raving about this kid now, and I genuinely believe next season, I cannot wait, and we're in the perfect competition, the Europa League, to play him, because for me, I actually think that next season he will have a breakthrough like Michael Owen did in his first season at Liverpool. And like I said, if he's promised that he is Salah's backup, because we've got loads of options in the left side and the central of forward line, then he's going to play, in my opinion, at least 15 games next season. At least 15 games, and the further we go in the Europa League, the more minutes he will get. So really excited about this kid. Let me know your thoughts on the video. You'll never walk alone.